Yo, what's up guys? Ezra Jeremiah here, and today me and my buddies are out here playing Airsoft. We thought it would be a good idea to make these videos for you to show you guys the techniques and skills that we've picked up on so that you guys can have a better time getting into this awesome sport. So to start off, I'm going to teach you guys what I've learned about hop up and ammo and how to get the most range and accuracy out of your gun. Me being a sniper, I've really gone into this and tried to perfect the art of hop up. If you don't know what hop up is, it's this mechanism in your gun that pushes a tiny piece of rubber down into your barrel so that your BB catches that rubber and has a backspin flying out of the barrel. And that backspin, it gives the BB an upward force and lets the BB float out for longer. There are a few options when setting up your hop up. There's basically two good ones and two bad ones that I've found. So the two bad ones that I see way too often really is under hopping your BBs. People just don't understand what hop up is and they don't hop their BBs enough. So their BBs will come out of the barrel and just go straight down into the ground and they're like, man, my gun doesn't have any range. And it's super annoying when you don't know what's going on. The other bad thing is when you over hop your BBs and they go flying straight into the air, and what happens is they fly and they go up, hunk, and then they fall straight down. That's no good. So there's a sweet spot right in the middle. You can set your BBs so that they glide through the air in a very straight path and just drop down. And that's really good. Like for instance, what I do is I do that on my pistol so that when I see a tiny little hole and I don't want to have to think about, is my BB going to be way up here or way down there? I just want it to fly in a straight line and I want it to go straight through that hole, just bam, right in there. But with my sniper, what I do is I hop my BBs so that they go up a little bit and then they have this arc and they just glide along and then they drop off. No like over hopping, so they go up and drop, they just go up a little bit, glide along, and then slowly fall down. In the moment, being able to know how your hop up works and where your BB is going to land in that path is super vital to hitting long range shots. So I'd recommend practicing that a lot. So with hop up, you want the most consistency you can. So if you have a screw, for me, I have a screw on the top of my gun, and you want it to be really stiff so that it doesn't adjust mid-game. Or if you have a M4, you want something like a rotary hop up that clicks into place, not one that just freely moves. That's one of the best things you can do for a hop up unit. One of the best things you can do for getting accuracy and range is having good quality, properly weighted BBs. What I use in my sniper are 0.48 gram BBs. Now those are very heavy for like an assault rifle that's shooting 400 FPS. But since this gun is shooting 550 FPS, it has that extra power and can really get it out there. And if your hop up can support that weight, the extra weight will carry the energy longer and you'll get more range and consistency. So if your gun can hop heavy BBs, so like if your M4 can hop 0.32 gram BBs or even heavier, then I'd recommend doing that. Most M4s stock can definitely hop 0.28s, and I think that's a good spot to start. All right, so that's gonna be it from me on hop up. We're gonna go over to Daniel, and he's gonna show you guys how he uses cover as effectively as he can. That sound good to you guys? Become the tree, become the bush.
Hi, I'm Daniel, and I'm gonna go over cover. First off, cover doesn't mean just for protection, it's to hide you from the opponent. So don't just think that you have to be hiding from bullets, but you want to. It's a good thing. Here's a couple tricks. So here's a few different cover tactics that have worked for us in the past. A lot of people you have standing right next to the tree, peeking out, kind of bracing themselves. Some people call it chicken wing out here, and that can get hit. But you always want to be able to move away very quickly. So if you stand back here, get a good platform, and you can lean out. You kind of flex your knees or your hips, whatever works. Just kind of lean out, and you actually can drop too, so you can get lower. You got a good stance, so if you need to, you can push away. Another one, if you see somebody, or if you know someone's over there, you can come up to a bush, and now I can still shoot through it, but if I hold still, no one will see me. They probably won't see me until I move, so I don't have to protect myself from them because I'll see them first. If you're constantly moving around like this, looking around, like people can pick up on that. So if you just stay steady and just use your eyes, and you can kind of scan where you want to look with your eyes, and you can kind of just your head, that way you're not moving all around. Keep your gun ready, don't have it down here, don't be leaning on it, don't be laying in the dirt like an idiot, just keep it up ready. There's a dark spot, you want to stand in the dark spot, you don't want to stand in the light, because shadows is another one. Like you can see here, shadow there. Somebody can see your shadow moving. But if it's light out, you want to stay in the light. You can't stay where you kind of blend in the most. Kind of keep an eye on your surroundings. Stay low, stay steady, and don't move unless you have to. All right, now thank you for watching me. I'm sorry you had to. But now we're going to switch over to Jared, and he's going to show you on how to reload his weapon and kind of some safety tips on how to use it.
All right, so talking about reloading right now. I'm using an AK, and I've actually switched my mags to where they're facing this direction. I like doing that when I'm using the AK. If you're using an AR, a lot of times you want to run it this way. We'll talk about that in a minute, but just find whichever works best for you depending on which rifle you're using. We're here, we're firing, pew, pew, pew. A couple different ways to reload here. One way and this way, if you do it like this, you're gonna be out of the fight a little bit longer. Your AR or your rifle will be dry, if you will, a little bit longer. So that would be going where you take the mag out first, then pick up your new mag and slide it in, right? So you had a lot of action going on while the mag was out. Or, let's pretend that's our new mag. Or we're here, we know we're getting low. We can go ahead and pick up our new mag, bring it up beside the old one, slide that one right in. You notice my downtime was very low on that. So usually you want to bring your new mag, your fresh mag out, get it up beside the old one before you release the old one, instead of taking the old one out, getting the new one. Also, I find it's a lot easier to get this one out first instead of trying to have this one in your hand and get this one out at the same time. All right, so we talked a little bit a minute ago about the direction your mags are facing, and this is actually an AK chest rig, so it's a little bit big for these AR mags, but the same idea applies. So you'll notice on these, I have my AR mags facing this way, the curve's going like this. And the reason we want to do that is when I pull those out, I can place my finger like this, and then as I drop this one out, it makes it a little bit easier to line it up and slide it right in. So let's talk about for a minute, if you're new to the sport and you don't have a chest carrier, or you just want to run light and fast and you don't want to run a chest carrier, because sometimes you want to do that as well. I really like wearing pants with side pockets, and you can also just use just your regular hip pocket. You can stash them down here. Now when I put them down here, I'm going to put it this way. So you don't have to have a chest carrier to get into airsoft. When I started, I thought I had to have a chest carrier and multiple mags. I think the first time I showed up to an airsoft game, I probably looked like I was part of SWAT or something. And you don't really need all that. You can get started with just your gun, a high cap or a few mid cap mags, and that's about it. Protection.